you know. But so since Alex Smith is there, now the question is about Kirk Cousins. We played around for the last 2 years. Was he going to leave, or was he going to sign a new deal, a long-term deal? He wanted, X amount of dollars. The Washington football team did not want to give him, the deal that he wanted. He didn't want to take the deal that they were giving him. So he got franchise tag. Now he is a free man at this point. He can go wherever he wants. So where would be probably the ideal place for a guy like Kirk Cousins? Where a landing spot that he could go to, that he could thrive, and maybe take a team where they're trying to go, or take his play, to the next level. That is the question that is in place. And there's 3 teams that I think maybe would work out, for him. And those 3 teams, I'll discuss when we come back from this break. You listen to the Wait a Minute Show. Your man Jelani JB Bodie, Lopan, is falling asleep, so we're going to leave him out of the equation. But we'll be back after these messages.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Vince Wright, the sports governor from the great state of Minnesota. Join the rest of us sports zombies on 2 Live Stews Radio. That's right, the boys are back. Doug, Ryan, and the rest of us, including me, the sports gov of Minnesota, Vince Wright, also known to the ladies as the Big Smooth. Keep it tuned here. That's right, 2 Live Stews Radio.
All music artists, lend me your ear. Looking for that hot beat to make your next hit? Go to farrelljaromusic.com. Tired of paying for overpriced studio time for mediocre beats? Go to farrelljaromusic.com. farrelljaromusic.com offers industry quality hip-hop, trap, R&B, and pop beats that will take your creativity to the next level. We know it's hard to find dope beats out there, so don't waste any more time searching YouTube or whack beat-selling websites. Go to farrelljaromusic.com today to cop the beat for your next hit. Mixing and mastering services available too. Once again, go to farrelljaromusic.com. That's FARROJARRO music.com for the hottest beats in the game.
This is number 1 Chief Rocker Jersey Vern on a Recap Monday doing his recap show. We're going to talk about sports, entertainment. We're going to have call interviews, on the spot calls. This is just a show that will bring nothing but passion and joy and understanding to all the listeners on the 2 Live Stews radio platform. The number 1 Chief Rocker Jersey Vern.
This is Key C from the
Kicking It With Key C show.
on the newly rebranded 2 Live Stews Radio Network. We will continue to bring you the hottest, most interesting guests and commentary in the areas of social, politics, culture, music, and more. Continue to tune in.
X gon' give it to you.
Yo, what's good? This is Trey Frazier, North Style. This is the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Make sure y'all tune in to us every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
He's the brain of operations.
I'm telling you right now, book it!
And him, he's along for the ride. But together, they bring you sports like you've never heard before. The Wait a Minute Show, a new way of discussing today's trending sports topics. And now, back to the show with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Again, you listen to the Wait a Minute Show with your man, Jelani J.B. Bodie, and my co-host, Lopan, who has went to the bathroom, so we don't care. Before I go on, make sure you're following the show thewaitaminteshow.com, where you can go to episodes, click on episodes, and then you can actually follow if you're not following already. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. But Facebook is really important because on Saturday's show, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do Facebook Live as well. So you can actually watch the show if you want, or you can listen to the show. It gives you, an option either way that you would like to go. So we like to give you options here at the Wait a Minute Show. But don't forget, and don't forget, stay tuned. Later on in the show, we are going to do the Big L Award. We're going to give it out to someone who has, some loserist tendencies. So Big L, the Big Loser Award, who did something crazy, and we had to go ahead and give him this award. I told you before earlier in the show, I try not to give this thing out. So I only give it out when it's needed. And unfortunately, it seems like it's been a weekly thing for the past few weeks, and I've just been handing them out. Indeed. Lopan is back from the bathroom, but yeah, I have been handing them out, every week. So we got another person that we're going to put that up for later on in the show, and we'll talk about that later. So, but what we're going to talk about right now, like I was saying before the break, we were talking about Kirk Cousins and some places that Kirk Cousins could probably end up at. And I told you I'll give you my top three. But before I give you my top three, you got some folks that's in the chat room that chimed in on this. Angry Black Man put down Denver, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Jets, and said, didn't put three teams down, but he said go to Denver. They have 0 QBs on that roster. 0 is what he's saying. So, and if you got any other teams that you want to put in there, go ahead and put it in the chat. We can talk about that as well. And I'll give you my opinion, and we'll chat it up, see if you got a problem or if I got a problem, on it. Kesey is in the chat room talking about send me that Faro commercial. Kesey, you have my phone number, bruh. You can just call me, just call me, text me something. He gonna put it in the chat room, like he don't got contact to me, like he can't contact me or whatever, but I will send you the Faro Jaro commercial. Yeah, Faro Jaro Music. That's who does all my music here. My producer, music producer. And if you need music producing, hit FaroJaroMusic.com. Yeah. So let me give you some teams that I did not pick. And these teams, definitely, I guess you could still say they need a quarterback, but these are some teams I did not pick, and then I'll give you my three that I did. One was the Buffalo Bills. At this point, I think looking at Buffalo right now, I don't think Kirk would go there. And I'll give you their cap space also for 2018 as well. They're sitting at a little bit over $29 million in cap space. I don't know if that's going to be enough, to get Kirk Cousins to come there. But I think the other thing is you got Shady. He is not getting any younger. And you got Calvin Benjamin. And you got Zay Jones, But do he know what this offense is really capable of? I don't know. I do know. I don't think he would go there because I don't think he's sold on the offensive unit. Who's going to be the replacement, running back? Because when Shady's gone, Kirk is still going to be there. So I'm not going to put Buffalo, on this list. Another one was the New York Jets. Now, New York Jets, they have tons of money. They got $72.6 million in cap space. But again, it's who are you providing on the offensive side? Now, of course, New York is going to have a high draft pick, so they're definitely probably going to look at someone. If they can get Kirk Cousins, they'll probably look at a quarterback. But Robbie Anderson, he got in trouble with the law. We don't know what's going to happen with that. We don't know what happened, in that whole situation. So you got to find out about that. You got to tell me who the other wide receiver that he's really going to feel comfortable with. I just talked about Shady McCoy, getting older. Well, Matt Forte is even older than Shady, and Bilal Powell, even though, he could be a guy that you would use and he's a quality player, I don't know if he's that bell cow guy that you want to use. So there's still question marks there. They got a lot of cap, so they could get some guys. Maybe they can, get some free agents to come there. But I just don't know if New York would be, the spot, for him. Another team, that was out there. And I think Angry Black Man said it in the chat room, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, he cannot get the money that he wants in Jacksonville because all their money, they got 16.5 in cap space, but we know where their money is tied up in. It's on that defensive side of the ball, and we saw why, and we saw what happens, with Jacksonville, when they are hitting on all cylinders. And Blake Bortles didn't do like a horrible Bill Walton job, especially in the playoffs. So I think Blake Bortles at least bought himself another year, to 2 years there. It's under a new offensive system. It's under a new coordinator, under, a new regime, with Tom Coughlin. So I think they'll give, Blake the benefit of the doubt, and they will take, him and roll with him at this point. I think Blake, is more than willing to do that. He wants to stay, with that team and see what can happen. I mean, let's be real. They were 1 quarter away from the Super Bowl. You don't necessarily go and change, your team up for Kirk Cousins. Obviously you're going to look at Kirk as being an upgrade, from that team. But I will say this for Blake. Blake did not have Allen Robinson, his number 1 wide receiver. Blake also did not have Allen Hurns for the entire season. He was playing with guys, Marquise Lee. I mean, these are not bad guys. I'm just saying Marquise Lee, Dede Westbrook, and I forgot the other guy. I think his name was Leon or something like that. But he was playing with guys that would not have been his starting wide receivers. And they got, and Leonard Fournette. He's going to be in year 2. So that's why I don't think, him going to Jacksonville would be ideal. 1, because they really ain't got the money. And 2, they kind of got something going on there that they don't really want to touch, and mess up at this point. I think someone might have brought up the Dolphins. Yeah, Mac Farrell said the Dolphins in Buffalo. The only thing Mac Farrell, I think someone just also said it in the chat room, is that Ryan Tannehill is their guy. I think Coach Gase made it a point that he is their guy. How the Jay Cutler thing is going to work out, Jay will probably retire again. And Ryan probably could come back and beat him out for that. But Ryan just got paid not too long ago. And again, Jarvis Landry might not be there. The other wide receiver, I'm drawing a blank. He went to Louisville. And if I wasn't on the show, I would know his name right off the top of my head. He's had injury problems. They traded Jay Ajayi. So now is Kenyon Drake going to be, the guy? They got offensive line problems. I don't know if he wants to be a part of that, at this point. But Gase, the one thing, Gase is a guy that QBs, he's supposed to be the QB guy, but I don't think he would go to the Dolphins. I think where Kirk Cousins goes, he wants to be the clear-cut guy. He doesn't want it to be any question marks. He doesn't want it to be, well, we'll see how this person plays out, and all that stuff. I seriously think, that's too much going on there. Obviously, he probably would love, staying in Miami, but no. Devontae Parker. Thank you, Mocha Bella. That's who I was thinking about. Devontae Parker. Mocha Bella said the Steelers. Now, I said this during another show that don't be surprised if Kirk Cousins goes to the Steelers.